Today's lap guide is at Zandvoort, and in ACC's new update we now have throttle and brake inputs, which is great for those of you who have asked in the past. Coming to the first corner, there's a white line that goes across the track and some worn-in rubber on the track you can use as a reference point to brake. As you come into the corner, you sort of want to have an early apex. Don't touch the grass, of course. Mid-corner you can drift out slightly wider and then come back in at the end of the corner for a late apex. Do not touch the curbing at any point because that'll upset the car. And when you run wide, don't touch the sand, or at any point on the circuit, don't touch sand because that'll slow you down a lot. Now for this next corner, use this curbing on the left. You want to brake maybe a car length before the end of the curbing. Don't brake too hard. On the right, do not touch this curb because that'll throw you onto the grass on the left. And on the left here, you don't really want to go on that curb because that upsets the car. Just after this curbing ends, you want to get on the brake pedal, drift out slightly wide and have a late apex. Once again, don't hit that curb because that'll upset the car. On the exit, you can use a bit of curbing. And now we can breathe a little bit as we make our way up the hill. Now up this right-hander here, there's an orange patch on the fence. You can brake pretty much alongside that or slightly before it. You can brake, don't brake too long. But in the Porsche you have to be very careful because it likes to spin. Don't touch the grass on the inside there, that upsets the car. And be careful going on the curbing on the exit there because that likes to upset the car too. Right here under the banner there's a line. You want to brake a car length or two after that. And start trail braking a little bit into this curbing on the inside. You can use it. After this you want to start easing the throttle back on, go back out, back in towards the middle of the track. And for this corner there's not really a braking marker as such, so when the track's worn in, there's some rubber in the middle. You can use that where that starts. You can use that as a braking point. You want to come tight here, be easy on the throttle. You don't want to spin the wheels too much. For this corner, that you can use the ambulance on the right as a braking marker. You sort of want to brake alongside that, and you really want to have a late apex on this left-hander. You can use a little bit of inner curbing, and don't get on the accelerator too early, or you'll run wide, and you don't want that. This curbing on the exit, don't use too much of it because it likes to throw you out into the grass. Now for this next corner, you want to brake a wee bit before the curbing starts on the left, right here, maybe a car length or two. And you can use a bit of curbing on the right here. Sometimes it upsets the car, sometimes it doesn't, so just give it a few goes and see what you're comfortable with. Back to the right, you can use a tiny bit of this curbing on the entrance of this hairpin. You don't want to use those yellow strips because that'll mess up your rhythm. Get back on the inner side of this corner, start accelerating early, use a tiny bit of curbing on the exit. Now we make our way to the last two corners. There's another orange patch on the fence. You want to brake pretty much alongside that. Very careful with your input in the steering. Use a little bit of the inner curb. Don't touch the sand on exit again because that'll slow you right down. And in most cars you can take this final corner flat out. That inner curb on the right, you don't want to hit that too hard or that'll bounce the car. Bit of curbing on exit and we make our way to the line, and this lap is a time of a 1:34.434, which is actually my fastest lap so far in the Porsche around this track. I reckon there's a potential of a 1:34.1 if I had a really clean lap. But there's a few things maybe I didn't get quite right that lap. You want to be with the Porsche specifically, you've got to be super careful with your steering inputs at high speed because it's very sensitive. It loves to spin out on you if you're not careful. So experiment a wee bit. Most cars will probably be different slightly to the braking points and turn-in points from this car. Find what you're comfortable with. If you got any questions, ask in the comments section. I'll try help. I'm sure others might help you too. And let us know what else you want to see on ACC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.